And welcome back to Forest Hill United Methodist Church's podcast, It Takes a Village. I am Reverend Justin Snyder, and today I'm here with Amanda Dyer, who is our Director of Community Engagement.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
I know, it is so, it feels like just a couple weeks ago, Amanda and I were talking about all these exciting new updates, and yet there are still more updates.
There are more.
There are still more updates for all the things that are happening.
Yeah.
So you've been in this new position. You've been a part of Forest Hill forever, but you've been in this new position. It's only been about 3.5 months.
Yeah.
Like not long.
Not long at all.
So how is it going in this new role? And what are the things that you find that have been like joyful, and the things that you found that have been like stressful that we're working through, and all of that?
I think it's been fun meeting a lot of new people and making connections that I likely would have never met, and made before. Mm-hmm. So that's been fun, and learning things that I didn't think I needed to know or care about. Now I know and care about these things about food and markets and whatever. And it's been fun seeing the people at the market and seeing our volunteers come together. I think everybody's just been really excited around the whole mission. So that's been fun. I think one of the things that's challenging to me is that since it's also new and nothing is known, it's been really hard to get ahead of things, because it seems like every time we do one thing, we see 3 other things that we need to do. And as someone who likes to have it all figured out before we do a thing, that's been a little challenging at times, but there's a team and we're working through it.
Yeah, I think like back to our first week. So at the time of recording, we've done 3 markets. So our first week, it felt like it took us an hour to set up. And that was only the time that we spent there prior to you doing all the things and like moving tables and getting them there. And it felt like it took forever. And we learned a lot. Yeah. And then the next week it took less time. And then the week after that it took less time. We also learned what rain looks like and the downpour.
Not a rain or shine market.
We are not quite a rain or shine market.
We're not the rain market.
Yeah. And we also learned what it looks like when it's really hot.
Yes.
And so we've learned some things along the way. And this, we've been kind of calling it our soft launch.
Yeah.
So what are some other things that you kind of learned, or things that you're excited to share with us about the market and where it's going or where it is now?
Yeah. So this week 4 coming up, I think we're going to have all our things. So we have partnered with the city, and through them we were able to be part of this REACH grant, and we were able to get lots of things for the market, right? So we have all our umbrellas are in, our picnic tables, tents. We got a commercial refrigerators and freezers that are in the building now, which is pretty cool because we can we're looking into some possible ice cream connections and things to bring down. And so having all of that out is going to be pretty fun this week, I think. It does add more stuff to set up, but I think we're better at it now. Yeah. We've got it figured out. So that's exciting for this week.
Yeah, I think it's really neat to kind of see, like, we were putting together these tables. We thought they're going to be really foldable, but they're really neat that we get to use for the market. And the city, as you said, has been partnering with us a lot more in the last week or 2. Like, it's really coming together.
Right.
So that's exciting. They have this grant that you're saying, the REACH grant, which is the city is kind of gifting to this project.
Correct.
That they had received from another organization. Right.
From CHA, Cabarrus Health Alliance.
So Cabarrus Health Alliance is now a part of this thing. And that's just really cool to see. Yeah. We know Cabarrus Health because they are our county health department, but also we've done a lot with them in the past. So it's kind of neat to see all these connections forming in different ways.
Yeah, it's been really cool. One of the other things, and we'll announce it here, we might hear it Sunday first, but we'll say it here too. We got some speakers as part of that. So part of the excitement with that was if we have to make an announcement, we can do that. Like, it's a safety thing, but also we want to create our own Market at Gibson Village playlist. So you, our listeners, will have the opportunity to send in your favorite songs that you'd like to hear on our playlist, and we will get that together so that we can play those at the market each week. So that's another little piece that we're going to add.
Yeah, so that's coming out. So this is going out this week. So you'll have time by next market to really get connected. And if you're hanging out there for an hour or two, or you're volunteering or just shopping, it's a great way for you to hear some tunes that you love to, and really do that. Share it with others. Like, hey, I picked this song, and you can talk about how like music is important and like all these kind of fun ways of connecting with people. So I'm excited for that too.
That's gonna be fun.
What else is happening?
Another exciting thing from the city is they have set up a van bus route that they are going to run 17 stops from the Logan community through Gibson Village, and the final stop is at the market. So I believe it starts at 3:30 on market days, and it's going to just run a continuous loop to those stops to bring people who may not have transportation otherwise, or just want to use that transportation, but it's specifically to bring them to the market. So that is a pretty awesome opportunity for our shoppers, for our vendors, for the community. And again, another partnership that is pretty fun to see come together.
And Logan community, for those who don't know, it's kind of like if you keep going down Kerr Street and then you head into Gabaris Avenue, it's on the other side, kind of near where Barbara Scotia is.
Right.
And so we're really excited for that partnership, and the way the city has kind of cooked up this route and things. And they were like test driving some things last week, and we saw a city like commercial van pull up, and it had an advertisement for the market on the side.
Our thing on it. It was cool. I was like, wait, what is happening?
You're like, I recognize that graphic.
That was pretty awesome.
Yeah. And so that's coming up. We also have a bunch of vendors and some really great people who are our vendors coming. So you want to share a little bit about maybe who is there, or some of the things we're doing to kind of share about who is a part of the market?
Yeah. So you can find all our vendors. We have a Gibson Village website, and it is gibsonvillage.org. And so one of the pages on there is a market page, and you can see all our vendors at links to their various pages. But they have been great. They have been with us from week 1 to a week of rain to a week of heat, and they have just all shown up and been there and been super great. So and we have most of your needs covered, right? So we have produce. We have Barbie Farms, who is partnering with us for produce. We have Harvest Roots vegetables. She's an organic small farmer. And then we have microgreens. Density microgreens. He is also just a very small urban farmer. It's an interesting story to talk to him about that. We've got local meat coming in from Evans Family Farm, and it is pretty fantastic. I think I've gotten it every week. We've got some salsas and honey. We've got Zoodadoo Soul, which is actually one of our church people, right? We're going to get her to join. And then Canon Honeymill joined us last week, so that's pretty cool. And then we have like 4 different crafts and candles and soaps. So we have Man, Scents, and More. And she's got candles, soaps, hats, just all kinds of stuff over there. We've got Bethaby Creates, and she's a new vendor. In fact, she's been kind of fun to watch grow even over these 3 weeks. She created a logo because we asked for one to put on the website, and she didn't have one, so she created one, and now she has a sign, and she upped her display and stuff. So we can see her as a small business growing, which is pretty cool.
One of the cool things, so I was over there last week, and she has these magnets that she's made. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Like, you're making these, they're like the polymer clay, and they're all these different things. And a lot of them are fruits and vegetables. And I was like, that's really neat. She goes, yeah, we're at a market and everybody's just loving to get their fruits and vegetables. And she said, I thought, what a great way to kind of make a connection with that. And so it's really neat to kind of see what all is blossoming in our vendors.
And then to that, Meerkat Design, she does a lot of crochet. So she has a whole bunch of, we call them emotional support crochet things, right? But she too has some vegetables,
a bunch of cucumbers.
She's got some breakfast pastries, but she also has market bags. So if you want to come and get your market bag, so you're not having to use plastic, you can go see her, get your bag, and go around. And then we have Natural Beauty by Savannah, who has just a lot of craft things. She's got some make your own bracelets, and I think some candles and some different things over there too. So whatever you might want or need, I think we can supply it.
And food trucks. Tell us what's in store for this coming Monday, which would be, what is that? The
30th.
The 30th.
The 30th, yeah. So the past 2 weeks, we've had a food truck called Chef Ball, and they were kind enough to come in and give us a shot because we could not guarantee them.
Yeah.
We didn't know who was coming. They were Asian fusion, and they were quite delightful.
And they had great chicken tenders too.
You would know, right?
Yes, I did know.
This week, the Whataburger truck's coming in, and that is a community favorite. So they're going to be there this week with us, which should be fun and a little bit different.
We were having a meeting last night, our launch team. We were talking a little bit about the market, and we said, this week Whataburger's coming, and you could hear the across the entire room.
I mean, we're all for different things and try new foods, but I mean, Whataburger's pretty solid. You know what you Concord. Got.
Yeah.
And the other thing we've got coming this week is the library is coming. The public library is coming to do our community table. They're going to talk about their summer reading program, and I think have the ability to sign people up for library cards, which is pretty cool. So if you don't already have your library card, you can do that. Yeah. The extension agency has been there the past few weeks and will probably be back. And then we've got the city Parks and Rec department is going to come out 1 week and kind of highlight some of their programs and stuff. So there's some exciting community things coming together as well.
So there are lots of things happening with this market. And the market is just like one of the many, many things that are happening. And along the way, like we're always needing people to serve. We're adapting as we go. Like we get out there and we go, oh, we thought we were prepared. Now we need this. Yeah. And last night I was saying we had a launch team meeting and we were talking about like what worship will look like and what are all the things we're doing in preparation of really being a part of the community and connecting with the community in ways that we haven't. And so we talked about what it looks like that we're using our space for mission, and to make it easier to engage, like we have added a page on our church website. And so now you can go to forresthillumc.org/serve. And that is specifically going to be links for all the ways that you can serve in Gibson Village. This could be like, if you still haven't connected with the launch team, preparing for worship, things like that. It can be, maybe you want to help with serve at Open Gym. Yeah. And so we have Open Gym every Thursday. We have like a Tuesday night community meal. You don't have to sign up to help serve with that. But there are all these things, but there are also these ways that you can serve at the market, and they look different than they have the last 3 weeks. Right. So can you tell us a little bit about what we've learned for serving at the market?
We had a ton of people volunteer to come out, and it was fantastic. Week one, because we didn't really know what to expect. So there were lots and lots of people greeting and being happy and helping set up and stuff. But what we've realized as it's gotten hotter is that is a long time to be outside to help set up, hang out, and help break down. So we talked about it, and we kind of see it as three parts. A setup team of 3 or 4 people, because we've gotten much better at that now. We can do it quickly, I think. People who want to come and hang it. So they would come. Setup team would come 3:15, set up before 4 o'clock. Our volunteers and greeters and table workers, could be there for the market time from 4 to 7, and then a group of people who could help break down. And again, that's going a lot faster too, because we've learned, the tents don't have to go back in the bags. They can just go in the room and be ready to open for next week.
Yeah, and maybe you can't be there at 3 something, but you want to help. All the people who have helped set up or who are serving in the market, they're probably tired by 7.
They're hot and tired.
Yeah. So we have this tear down. And so if you're working, you can come after work. You can do your shopping at the market. You can meet people. And then you can help us tear down. Yeah. That's greatly appreciated for all of those who are there.
Absolutely, because by then,
we're tired.
We're tired.
Yeah.
We're thirsty and tired and all the things.
Yeah. So really excited for the market. It's been great. It's been great for our church to be out and come alongside this thing that, 4 months ago we didn't know was going to happen. Right. And now we're here.
Yeah. I think another exciting thing I was just telling you is late breaking news, really, because I had a meeting this morning. And it's another one of these ways where even people within this church that I may not have had a lot of interaction with before, people have pulled themselves in, which is pretty cool. So a couple weeks ago, I got an email from Bruce Taylor asking about the possibility of setting up a table of some sorts at the market to do books for kids, and whether it was we're selling them or we're loaning them or we're giving them or whatever. Like, it was just this idea. And that exact same day, I got a text from my sister saying, hey, y'all should set up this table at the market that does books. And I was like, well, if two people are saying that don't know each other, this should be a thing. So,
are you there, God?
I know, right? And in the midst of all of that, we also are going to be home to a little free library that is sponsored by the Greater Cabarrus Reading Association.
Wow.
So there's a lot of literacy going on, which, like Bruce said today, we feed the body, but we also need to feed the mind. And so putting these books out there. So since we have the little free library, we're going to call our market library the big little library.
I love it.
And it's going to start, I think, in 2 weeks. We need a little bit of time, but I think we're going to put it over in the grass area with some tents and some little chairs for kids.
Yeah.
I think our focus is going to be on kids' books, but we will have some adult books and some young adult books and teen books and things as well. There were a lot of fun ideas today in that conversation we had, so I'm looking forward to what that would look like. And the even cooler thing is, if I may, one of the things that Ian talked about when he started Open Gym was the possibility of doing tutoring and things like that in the fall. And we were like, oh, this big little library could kind of feed into that. So like all of these parts and pieces that felt kind of separate from one another at first are just, everything's kind of pulling together, and it's pretty cool. It's definitely got it work because these are people who don't even know each other necessarily.
Yeah, wow.
So it's been a cool morning.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So we've been thinking a lot about this market. We've been thinking about what its purpose is. We've been thinking about kind of like how we are living out this purpose and the connection to the bigger thing. And so one of the things that we've talked about, and it also came up last night in our launch team meeting, was we were talking about like, how does this fit into the grander vision of who Forest Hill is and the mission of the church? Because sometimes we just think, well, a market is just a way to sell things.
Right.
Or we understand that people need access to fresh, good food. So we understand those things, but how does that fit in the big picture of the church? Like, how does community relate to this big picture? And so I was thinking about that, and I was talking about that last night. And I just thought it would be really good to share a little bit about what that looks like for us. And so one of the things that we talked about last night was how important community is. We sometimes think that community is just this thing outside of the church, but as like the body of Christ, we do that in community. Like, we don't do our faith alone. John Wesley would say it's called social holiness, where we do life together. And there are, countless theologians who talk about how important it is to be in community. And so community is a reflection of our faith. It's how we live it out. And one of the really neat things about this market is talking to people in our community. I've had some really wonderful conversations about like who we are in ways that we're not specifically evangelizing.
Right.
And I don't know if you've had any conversations like that, but there was somebody who came up and we were talking to them. They weren't a part of the church, and they wanted to know about a very specific need of the community. And they were talking to us, and we explained, like, we're the pastors, and they said, well, I'm not interested in church. And then we said, that's fine.
Right.
Like, let's talk about this thing you're interested in. And so we got to hear a little bit more about this like family and this mission that they were really passionate about. And then at the end, they looked over at one of us. We had our name tags on, and it had our pronouns on it. And they said, I don't see that in churches, but that's really important.
Yeah.
And it was this like shift in the way that we saw each other and the way that we engaged in community. And it all came out of just this listening, listening and learning, connecting with our neighbors. And it got me to thinking about, what does it look like to just be present? What does it look like to just like show up at the market?
Right.
And say, hi, how are you doing? Like, oh, that's a cute dog you've got. Like, what's your dog's name? And just be present and connect with them. And naturally, as we do that, our faith bubbles up. We glean from others who they are, what they value and what they believe. And I think others do the same.
Sure.
And so I think this market is a way that we bear witness in our faith in the world, and it's a way that we claim things that are important and we live them out as a part of community.
Yeah.
And so it's really neat. Like, we're doing love, we are doing justice, we are showing mercy, and we're not in everyone's face trying to talk about faith. But our hope with this market, and I think you might agree with this, is that people will just spark a little bit of curiosity about, who are these Forest Hillers?
Yeah.
Why are they here? Why is this stuff important? And maybe this is something that people want to come alongside.
Right.
And I think that's really cool for who we hope to be. I think that's who we live out ourselves in the community. People say we know Forest Hill because they do mission. And this is a mission.
It is.
And so it's a great opportunity for people to come alongside, to volunteer, to do these things. And so I think it's really important. It's a way of being on the level field with our neighbors and not saying, we have the handout.
Right.
Let us give it to you.
Right.
But wow, you have something to offer. And that's so cool. And we're missing out because we've never had that. And now we do. And that's a really cool thing, I think.
I think it's nice when we can be in a place and not feel like, and not be the ones going in and giving, but being alongside people, because the person you talk to probably has lots of gifts and ideas and thoughts that we can learn from. We just have to be willing to do that. And I think we do that well. I think that's one of the things that we keep at the forefront, is not to just come in and this is the way we do things, but how can we come along and help what's already being done?
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting.
And it was really neat. Like, last night we were at the meeting, and one of the questions was, do I wear my Forest Hill shirt to the market? Like, I'm not trying to pull someone in, but like, that's kind of who I am. And like, this intentionality and how we show up.
Yeah.
And are there ulterior motives, or are there not? Or are we just open about who we are?
I mean, some of us have 20 different Forest Hill shirts. It is who we are. It's just what we have.
Yeah, I said they're my dress shirts.
It's a part of life, right? Yeah. So, and I think, that's one of the things we talk about with the kids in Sunday school too, is it's how you live is showing Jesus and showing God, right? So like, you're not going to school and telling everybody, go love God, but you're being that kind friend on the playground. You're saying those nice words and you're living it out. And so we're starting them as our kids doing that, and just continuing to model that even as adults. Yeah.
So when you think about this market as an extension of ministry of the church, this Gibson project as a whole, and you think about how you see it as a mission, what do you hope holds true for us in the next couple of years? We always do this question, but I'm trying to reframe it a little differently. What do you hope community engagement looks like in a couple of years?
I would love for the community to feel like they belong with us, right? Or that we all belong together, I guess. Right now, the market has some community members in. It's also got a lot of church members. And so I would like the community to just say, hey, this is a safe place for us to be, to continue to show up. And whether that's at the market, whether that's at Open Gym, that's at worship when we start that, that if we were to leave, it would be a void, right? And that sounds however that sounds. But I think, you want to be a presence, and you want to be a positive presence. Yeah. And I hope that in order to do that, the community has to be involved. We've got to engage community.
Yeah. And I think in the same way, like, we experience a void not having them too.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's this, like, we're always missing out if we're not in it together.
Like, hopefully they will be friends, and you'll be able to say, I miss my friends. Like, these are people that I wouldn't maybe not have known if we hadn't hung out down here some, but now I do. Yeah. And that's important. So,
well, thank you so much, Amanda, for giving us some updates. And again, you can check out foresthillumc.org/serve if you want to be a part of helping with the market, helping with Open Gym, all other kinds of ways. If you have a really wonderful idea, shoot Amanda an email.
Please.
And odds are someone else might be having the same exact idea.
As we're seeing, right?
Yeah. So we can come alongside each other to work through this together. Yeah. That'll be great. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.